Everybody, welcome back to a Modern Monarchy, episode 15. I think.
Whoa.
Yes. Uh,
I think.
It's been a minute. I've been trying to catch up since I got sick, and I'm almost caught up on everything in life. Um, so right while we're recording, the Harry episode hasn't gone up yet. Hopefully, I will get that up this week, and then this one will be next week, and then we might be back on track.
Here's hoping.
Um, so I started out today's episode sans sharing screen because I want to share some stuff that I got. So, you remember on my little shelf over there, I have like little figurines of the Queen, like Queen Elizabeth
Oh,
and
yeah.
Princess Catherine and Charles and William. I thought that was the end of the set because that's all I remember being in the magazine. And then another box showed up, and I started to take this person out of the box. And at first, I noticed that they had blue eyes and blonde hair. And I had a little bit of a moment where I was like, did they put Diana in the set? Because it's a little awkward, right? But then I realized that she has longer hair. So
Okay.
she's not Diana. Who is she?
I definitely, just for the record, would have thought.
Yeah.
Like, without. As soon as you said that, I'm like, oh, what? Okay. Is it Eugenie?
No. The
Isn't
York
she born
girls
before?
are, well, I guess they're not York girls anymore. Um, those girls over there, but they're not, neither one of them is blonde. Who's a working royal who wears nice little, I don't know what's that, that's like a skirt suit set. You like how she dresses?
Oh, did I get her name wrong? I called her Eugenie. It's.
Oh, Sophie.
Sophie! I'm so bad at names, but I'm like, that's why I was like, it's not her?
And
It's because I got the name wrong.
I was like, how is she not even getting anywhere near it? And you were just like, you'd already crossed her off.
Because you said it wasn't her. But I just really suck at names.
Anyways, so she's adorable.
She's so
And
cute.
if I keep getting boxes, it's going to be a fun surprise.
This feels like an advent calendar, but like you don't know how many doors there are.
So, guess what else I got? Are you ready?
Yes.
You recognize?
Stop it. Have you not even opened it yet?
No, because I don't know if you've seen any of her interviews around this, but one of her things that really keeps her up at night is worrying about how things are packaged. Because the unboxing experience is very important.
Ooh, are we gonna do a live unboxing experience?
Yeah. So she didn't have everything sold out. There were basically flower sprinkles that nobody wants anymore because the people that wanted to try it tried it, and the rest of us were like, the fuck am I going to do with those?
Put them on everything. That's her whole shtick.
I know. Put it on salad. Put
Put
it
it
in
in
your
your
drink. Anyways, there was flower sprinkles, some teas, and I believe the only preserved thing was orange marmalade. So I got. I'll just show you. I'll just show you what I got. Okay. So far, so good. Looks like a box.
I mean, it's pretty.
Are you
It's a
excited?
little plain.
Are you
It's a
excited?
little plain. I'm just gonna say it. Oh, enjoy!
Do you think it was handwritten?
Once.
As ever.
As if.
Although, why didn't she sign this as ever?
Right?
She said she named it as ever because she likes to sign off things as ever Meghan. But I'm telling you, I went researching for a lot of stuff and I saw a lot of things that she's written, and she usually does XXMM. So I don't know if
Not
it's
as
I
if.
don't know when she's doing as ever. There's an as ever logo sticker.
Okay, okay.
That's pretty nice.
I mean, the outside of the box was plain, though. I'm disappointed by that.
All of the packaging is supposed to be recycle friendly. Oh my god.
Okay.
Paper. I think that's empty paper. Oh, that's heavy paper. That's got stuff in it. More empty paper. Full paper.
Is this supposed to be part of the experience?
This is my fancy as ever unboxing experience.
Where 50% is paper. And you got one postcard that just says, enjoy.
Okay,
Okay.
we're gonna do this one first. I'm gonna let it do its thing while we open the other thing.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so okay, um,
Ugh.
ooh. So I got peppermint tea because my tummy's been really upset lately. And I thought that might go well with my tum tum. The packaging is a little. I don't know if you can see it. There's like a little bit of bubbles. It's on kind of slapdash, but I mean it's not even the tin doesn't have a design. This is all sticker. It's a black tin with sticker because
Okay.
everything from As Ever is coming from a factory in Illinois. It's Illinois or Indiana. I think it's Illinois. Anyways,
Okay.
it's like white label stuff where they were already making this tea and then she just slapped the label on it.
Got it. Yeah, I
Okay.
feel like I remember you saying that.
So,
Looks like an
okay.
impractical lid, though.
Yeah, it's a little annoying.
And
So we
like,
got pyramid shaped sachet. It smells pepperminty.
like hopefully like peppermint. How
And
much was
then,
that?
oh, I don't remember. It's been a while. Um, this doesn't even have a label on it. Don't you usually put your
Yeah,
brand?
normally you have your logo on that.
This is stupid. All right, that's going in the water.
Okay, so it was $14 for 12 sachets.
Sachets. And then
Shortbread cookie mix with flour sprinkles.
I would have gotten the shortbread cookie mix, although I wouldn't
So
have been able to taste it and do an unpackaging.
also wild that like you can get the marmalade, which was $12.
That's what we have. I don't enjoy that it's
Oh,
liquid.
liquidy.
Sorry. If I went to the grocery store and the marmalade was slopping around in the jar like that, I would think it's gone bad. And there's some sort of like bacteria doing something or other.
It would not be so thin, no. Marmalade is like historically like a jelly.
Yeah. I guess it's more, I think jam has bits. And technically, orange marmalade usually has some of the peel in it.
Marmalade consistency is a gel-like or jelly-like state that is spreadable but not runny.
Yeah, I
Container
was
is
concerned
the fruit
because
dough.
I don't know if you saw people tasting the raspberry jam. but
Mm-mm.
they were just like pouring it back into the jar, and I was like, my marmalade better not, better not.
Oh, are
Okay,
you gonna taste it? I'm
so
dying now.
this is what we're working with.
It's
Delicious.
so wet.
It's so wet. Um,
I hope it at least tastes good.
I feel weird doing this alone.
Just like eating.
I wish you were eating this too. Um, okay. So, you know, I don't eat marmalade a lot because of the peel bits. I
Right.
don't really like them, but usually they're soft and you don't notice them that much when you're chewing. But I think because everything around the peel bits is liquid, it is
You
like
really notice.
it's like chunky baby food.
That's awful. That's like also the exact opposite of what you want baby food to be.
Um, so good news is 18 grams is 35 calories, so
Not bad.
delish. Um, let's see. Organic cane sugar, orange juice. It definitely tastes like orange juice. Orange peel. We got that. Organic lemon juice concentrate and fruit pectin. They could have added more pectin. That would have been, I mean, it wouldn't be a signature Markle mess, but or Sussex slop. I don't know which one.
Plastic slop. Woof.
That's how she could rebrand Sussex slop. Um,
I mean, flavor wise, is it okay? Oh,
I'm gonna do it again. Like damn it. It's all right. I think my problem is I'm having a hard time with the texture and it's ruining everything for me.
got it.
Um,
Well, but didn't you just have a little bit without the chunkies in it? They look like you just got a bit of liquid.
yeah. So when I got some slop, slop only, I enjoy that. I enjoy that it's not like overly sweet. You do get some more complex orange flavor. There's a tiny bit of bitter in the background, but it's a no for me, dog. Did I tell you I have until August 20th, 2027 to eat this?
Well, that's plenty of time to suffer through. A little at a time.
It just your marmalade shouldn't do that.
No. I hope your tea's better.
Oh yeah, tea. Let's try tea.
It's
Oh,
pretty hard to fuck up tea.
this somehow the string got like vacuumed into the mug. That was not great. It okay, here's a problem.
It doesn't sink.
It's floating at the top. And if you push it down, it comes back up.
Oh my god.
It's more in there now. But
You
I don't
shouldn't have to like coax your tea into the water.
yeah.
It should just say, ah, yay, warm water. Gotcha.
Also, okay, I'm gonna taste it, but I think because it was just sitting on the top, it's not gonna really be too
I mean,
strong.
you can wait.
It tastes like Bigelow tea.
probably is.
Like the cheap stuff at the grocery store.
Oh, there's a new drop tomorrow?
Mm-hmm.
Wine by As Zephyr.
Yeah, we're not doing the wine because you have to buy 3 bottles in order for them to mail it. Which people were saying she was being greedy, but I believe when you buy wine, I could be wrong, but I believe when you buy wine, you have to buy multiple bottles. I don't get it because I used to get food from Misfit Foods, and I ordered wine once and I tried to get 1 bottle and they said I had to pick 2 others. And I was like, okay. Then it's annoying because when it gets there, the FedEx guy has to like check your ID. So you have to be home when the wine arrives.
So it seems like it really has to do with shipping.
Hmm.
Because, like, they need to ship at least 3 to make the shipping worth it.
Oh, to make it worth it.
Because it's heavy. Like, if you just ship one, it's still like a glass bottle of liquid. So it's heavy. But yeah, it looks like that's typically why that happens. But it's not like a law. Like, you have to order 3.
It's pretty decent. Okay, we're gonna move on to the actual topic of this episode, which is
Are
very
we?
much related to the package. Okay, so today's episode is about our best friend Megan.
Yay!
This is one of my favorite pictures, just because I was a smaller actress. She has lots of photo shoot pictures that are just kind of weird.
Not quite headshots, but like clearly photos that she probably would have given out during her acting days.
That and like when you have like a real photo shoot and they have you do like weird positions. Like I notice a lot of the time she would have like candid shots where she's like looking away, but then like her elbow is like this and she's turned like this and like her knees are together. You're just like nobody sits like that. But
Right? Somebody told you to do that.
yeah, it's weird. It's one of those things that like as a kid, seeing models do photo shoots and stuff where they like pose like that, it looks normal because you see it all the time. But then if you actually sit in front of the camera and do those poses, you're like, nobody sits like this.
How'd she get her body into this position?
Yeah. So, to start with, we shall talk about Doria and Thomas Markle. So
I didn't
first,
know what her dad looked like until just now. Was that her dad?
yeah,
Okay.
I was gonna go back, but you'll see him again.
Okay.
We're gonna start with Doria, who was born in Ohio. But then as a baby, her family moved to Los Angeles. I don't know a ton about Doria. She seems to be a rather free spirit hippie lady. She seems lovely.
She's got gray hair.
Uh-huh. But she's had many jobs over her lifetime. Um, just like most of us have who aren't rich.
Those of us who had to work.
These are not in order of the jobs. Like, these are not in order of when she worked there.
Okay.
But these are some examples of things that she did. She was an air stewardess, a travel agent. She owned a small jewelry business. She owned a dress consignment store, and I think it was called like a change of a dress.
That's pretty funny.
Did I say yoga instructor yet? Yoga instructor.
So
We're throwing that
that
in.
does explain some stuff, though.
It explains some stuff.
About Megan, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All of this explains Megan.
Honestly, fair. Oh, I missed it.
She taught a jewelry making course at Santa Monica College. She became, I believe this is after Megan married into the family. She became CEO slash CFO of a care home firm in Beverly Hills called Loving Kindness Senior Care Management.
Okay.
Um, and that, I don't know, that company barely has a website, and people who are into Meghan conspiracies believe that her mom is laundering money through a fake company.
Okay, wait, what's the website?
I don't remember the name of the website, but the place is called Loving Kindness Senior Care Management.
A ridiculous name, by the way.
It's a long one.
There's like nothing to click.
Yeah. That's why I said it was like barely a website.
Because literally everything is just like schedule a phone consultation.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And
Very
it's
odd.
like, it,
Oh. The copyright on the website, this is 2020. So whoever runs their website hasn't updated that.
but before all that, all those jobs, she attempted to be a makeup artist. Not attempted. She was doing it. Let's be real.
Successfully?
she so she was a temporary assistant makeup artist on the set of General Hospital.
Ooh, that was my mom's favorite soap.
Well, it's gonna come back.
Ooh, okay.
Um, and then later in life, like I said, this is not in order because I couldn't really find a specific order, but later in life, she would go back to university and get her master's degree to be a social worker. Thomas Markle was born and raised in Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
Fun fact for just me, his British Irish family went over to Canada and then lived in New Hampshire for a little while before they moved to Pennsylvania.
Ooh.
That's kind of like our family. A lot of mom's side of the family moved into Canada before they dropped down to New England.
Right.
And I lived in New Hampshire.
And I live in Vermont.
Yeah. Thomas, born and raised in Pennsylvania, goes to the University of Chicago for college. This is where he will meet. Unfortunately, I don't have a young picture of her. So it looks a little odd to have a young Thomas and a today picture of Rosalind. But he meets Rosalind Lovelace at a party at the University of Chicago. Um, they meet in 1963. 1964, she's pregnant. So they get married.
As one does.
They're going to have two kids, Yvonne Marie Markle, who is now known as Samantha Markle, and Thomas Markle Jr. So this first marriage with Rosalind, there's a interview in the Daily Mail from 2019 with Rosalind, who claims that he was very much not a good husband and father. She said that he cheated a lot, including with one of her relatives,
Oh,
which I think you need to question everyone around you, not just Thomas.
right.
And would come home, quote, smelling of women. I don't know if that means perfume or something else. He was, quote, an awful father who showed little interest in their young children. He hurled abusive, foul mouthed uh, outbursts, um, and starved her of cash, so she ended up shoplifting for food.
Hmm.
I'm not saying that's what happened. This is what she claims in a newspaper, and he hasn't said otherwise. So, unsurprisingly, they divorce. I don't know how they lasted the 11 years before they divorced, but they divorced. And then I believe Rosalind took the kids with her when she moved to New Mexico. At this point, they have been living in Los Angeles because he was already working on being a lighting director. Um, so he gets divorced in 1975, doesn't have his kids with him. He's very much a workaholic. I think you kind of have to be to kind of make your way in Hollywood. So he meets, oh my gosh, why am I forgetting her name? He meets Doria on the set of General Hospital because she's the assistant makeup artist and he is the lighting director. So they get married December 23rd, 1979 at a place called the Self-Realization Fellowship Temple of Para Paramahansa Yogananda in Hollywood.
Okay.
Um, the Daily
Is this
Mail
still a thing?
described, huh?
Is this still a thing?
It's still there.
But is it still like functioning as what it was functioning as?
Yeah.
Really?
Um, the Daily Mail called this place wacky. I I mean, it's kind of like Eastern religion adjacent. It's a very spiritual place, but I don't think there's like a strict religion.
Okay.
Anyways, their wedding was officiated by a Buddhist priest. His name is his name is Brother Bhaktananda. Yeah,
Okay.
yep. Um, Thomas Markle, when talking about his new marriage, says, I loved Doria. I didn't think how long it was going to last. I just gave it a go because I wanted a child. This would be the first child I could afford because I didn't have enough money for the other two. I'm going to show you a couple wedding pictures. You let me know how they make you feel.
Okay. It's pissing me off. Robert! This feels like he picked up a child.
Exactly. Okay. So she's 23. Well, she looks 16.
Right. And
And
he's
she's
how old?
and she's tiny. And he is 12 years older than her. I also thought it was interesting if you compare, it's 1979 that they get married and they're 12 years apart. And 2 years later, Diana's going to marry Charles, who's like 11 years older than she is. And neither one of these marriages worked. Can't imagine why.
What's the common denominator?
Hmm. August 4th, 1981 at 4:46 in the morning, Rachel Meghan Markle was born. She was born at the West Park Hospital in Canoga Park, Los Angeles, California. I can't say Canoga without doing a really dumb Californian accent. I couldn't find a picture of this place. I think it's been taken down.
Ah.
Um, She has a bunch of different little nicknames in her family. Her mom's side of the family seems to call her Meggie, uh, because eventually she's going to not go by the name Rachel. She's going to go by Megan. Her mom calls her Flower, and her dad calls her Bean.
That's what I call my dog
I
for reference.
don't know if you want to read Megan's Happy Father's Day uh, Instagram post from 2016, just so we can remember that she liked her dad at one point.
Happy Father's Day, Daddy. I'm still your buckaroo, and to this day, your hugs are still the very best in the whole wide world. Thanks for my work ethic, my love of Busby Berkeley films, and club sandwiches, for teaching me the importance of handwritten thank you notes, and for giving me that signature Markle nose. I love you, XO Bean.
And then you can read a little bit of an article about
My cat's in the
this
way.
is, this is Thomas Markle Jr., so her stepbrother, talking about when she was born, how it all went down.
When Meggie was born, Dad was a completely changed man, recalls her half brother Thomas Jr., who was 14 and had recently left New Mexico for California to live with his father and stepmother and their new baby sister. Before then, Dad's work took priority over everything, and she became his whole world. Can you not go in the candle? Sorry. Sorry, I have a long haired cat, and I like candles. I don't like my long haired cat going poof. Okay. Before then, Dad's work took priority over everything, and she became his whole world. I remember when she came home from the hospital, he had decorated the bathroom with little angels and fairies. He would keep holding her up to the mirror so she could see herself in his arms. The look on his face was priceless. Dad would take so many pictures of Meggie that she must have been the most photographed baby in San Fernando Valley. He must have had about 50,000 pictures of her stashed away somewhere. Meggie was a little princess long before she met Harry. She was her daddy's princess.
Mm-hmm. And that's how she ended up the way that she did. Oh, my next note is supposed to be connected to a quote, and I don't know if I have it. Nope. Basically, after Thomas talks about the fact that his dad was not a great dad for them, but then when Megan was born, he was like obsessed with her. Um, After that, Thomas Markle talks about the fact that his sister Samantha seemed to be kind of jealous of her little stepsister because she's getting all the attention and help from her father to make her dreams come true as they're growing up, and Samantha's not getting anything from her dad.
Yeah, I could see how that would feel unfair.
Yeah. Um,
Especially as a child.
Thomas isn't the only one to say that Samantha hated Megan growing up, and Samantha's at least 10 years older than Megan, so I wouldn't really expect them to be friends, but like to literally hate her is kind of crazy. Um, and then that's important because nowadays Samantha Markle mainly is just trying to prove to the public that Megan's a liar and we were friends when she was growing up and I loved her so much. And I'm like, you're the only one who's saying that story. Like, not only does Megan not agree with you, everybody else who was around when Megan was a baby also said you hate her. So, Thomas rented a big house in a quiet cul-de-sac in Woodward Hills. According to the Daily Mail, it was a white middle-class residential area lined with eucalyptus trees. But then other articles would say that it was not a nice place to live, but it looks like I don't know what the house looked like decades ago, but it looks like a nice place to live. Okay. So Megan's born in 1981. 1983, her parents are separated, and they won't get divorced officially for another 4 years. they do get divorced. They're going to cite irreconcilable differences. If you read enough interviews, the Markle children, like Samantha and Tom, would say that, their dad works a lot long hours, so Doria was home quite a bit, and she would smoke a lot of pot everywhere and have people over, and she just wasn't very good at taking care of Megan. There's also accusations that she was sleeping with other men. I don't know how much I believe any of this stuff. Also, I don't think if you smoke pot, you're a horrible person. Like,
Oh, good.
so the way that they say it
Right.
sounds like she was just like smoking on the front lawn, doing absolutely nothing all day.
Right, like sitting out there in her lawn chair smoking a joint.
Yeah, no,
Baby's inside, loose on the floor.
right. Um, but Thomas Markle has admitted that he used to host like Hollywood parties in the house, and I don't know what that got up to, you know,
You never
Hollywood
do.
parties with his Hollywood friends. And he's also admitted to having the occasional sniff of cocaine. So I I don't think if if Dory is doing pot, I don't think that's why they divorced.
Right.
So when they get divorced, they're gonna have joint custody of Megan. They're going to live in different places, and over her childhood, I believe, because it's very hard to figure out where she lived. Some people were saying that she lived with her dad most of the time because Doria couldn't take care of Megan. Uh, Lots of other stories, especially from Megan, are that she lived with her mom most of the time and just saw her dad on the weekends. I think it probably was flexible, and it was like if Thomas Markle's working 18-hour days, then she's going to be with her mom.
Right.
And when her mom was trying to explore different things for her career, like as a travel agent, she would travel for long periods of time. So then Megan would be with her dad. I've got some pictures of some houses that the Daily Mail says were where Megan lived. I'm just going to go with it.
Okay.
So Doria's apartment would be the one on the left. Doria lived with Megan's grandma Jeanette, so the ladies all hung out together. Thomas Markle, according to the book Revenge by Tom Bauer, which we're going to reference quite a bit in this episode, but I don't like the book Revenge, mostly because Tom Bauer has said about himself that like he likes to take down icons. So if he writes a book about you, it's probably not going to be great. So the entire book just feels like he is just trying to make Megan seem awful, which she doesn't need any help. And I just don't trust the story because he also says some things here and there that I don't think are entirely true, and he doesn't give you any source
Mm.
or like say who he heard it from, or he'll say that literally people's conversations in a private room, he's using quotation marks as to what they said to each other
But he wasn't there.
when he's just making it up.
Mm.
I don't like it. But he says that Thomas moved into a large converted barn, but he also rented a small apartment, which is this blue building on the right, opposite ABC Studios. This is a letter that Meghan wrote in 2021 to Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer, trying to get them to vote in the direction of giving parents better parental leave when they have children.
Got it.
And I think we were also trying to get like free daycare so that parents can go to work. But I'm going to have you read what Meghan says about her time growing up.
I grew up on the $4.99 salad bar at Sizzler. It may have cost less back then, to be honest. I can't remember. But what I do remember was the feeling. I knew how hard my parents worked to afford this because even at $5, eating out was something special, and I felt lucky. And as a Girl Scout, when my troop would go to dinner for a big celebration, it was back to that same salad bar or the old spaghetti factory because that's what those families could afford to do, too. I started working at the local frozen yogurt shop at the age of 13. I waited tables, babysat, and piecemeal jobs together to cover odds and ends. I worked all my life and saved when and where I could, but even that was a luxury because usually it was about making ends meet and having enough to pay my rent and put gas in my car. At
Okay.
13,
Yes.
you were paying rent and had a car at
She very,
13?
she very much makes it sound like she had to help provide for the family as a child.
Right.
Like they were
Absolutely.
so poor.
That's that's what this implies to me.
But
That's
from
what I
what I'm
infer.
getting, your dad is an Emmy-winning light director in Hollywood. He has two houses. You're going to see that she's going to only go to private school her entire life. And
But $4.99 salad bar at Sizzler.
I have a feeling she just liked the salad bar. Like, Thomas Markle says that what she's saying is like wildly untrue. But I think with most things that Meghan says, the words she's saying aren't actual lies. It's just how she says it paints a different picture. Because he said in another interview somewhere, she talks about living in a cramped, converted garage apartment. And he's like, she never lived in a converted garage. But if we go back, her mom's apartment is a converted garage.
Right.
Or at least she lived above the garage. Sorry.
Right.
Um, so that's why doing this episode was just so frustrating because the Markles are saying one thing, Meghan's saying another, and I think the truth is in the middle.
You just have to figure out what the middle is.
Exactly. And it took a lot of brain power, and I didn't like it.
It shouldn't be that hard.
I should just read things, and they should be true. Oh, no, wait, we got three parties that I got to deal with. We have the Markles saying one thing, we have Meghan saying something else, and then Tom Bower in the book Revenge, who, okay, you know how I said I don't like his book, and I don't like his voice in the book. Like I
Mm-hmm.
don't like his tone, and I don't think everything he said was 100% true. Enough of it is true though that I will reference it because he posted it. He posted it. He just posted a book. No. He
Man.
released this book after Megxit. And at that time, Meghan and Harry were very litigious and just suing people left and right for things you said that aren't true and made
Right.
them look bad. And they didn't touch this book. And this book was big, and this book was bad for them.
Well, that says something.
Yeah. So we have
That could have been a picture of me.
I know. I chose this picture because it looks like Tiny Cassie.
Thanks. Thanks.
I'm glad you noticed it. I have a quote from her friend from school. Her name is Nanaki Pretty, and they're going to be friends from, I think it's elementary school, all the way until 2014. They're going to be besties. Um, so since they're not besties anymore, Nanaki did talk to the Daily Mail, and it is a fun article to read because it is a long interview and it is almost all quotes from Maggie's best friend. So she said about Megan's time growing up, she said that Tom, her dad, allowed her more space, and Doria was very mothering, which I'm guessing means she didn't give her as much space. Um, she set more boundaries. Tom let us get away with things. He provided a less strict household. Um, and there's another point where she mentions how she would kind of, on the one hand, it was nice having two parents because if you weren't getting along with one, you'd just go live with the other one for a while. But I think she also may have used that, especially against her dad, who loved her so much, to be like, "You're making me mad. I'm gonna go live with mom for a month." Because she's a kid in the 90s, so you can still be a latchkey kid. Like, you can come home from school and nobody's home and you have your own key to get in.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes she could go home and just eat a TV dinner. Sometimes she could go to her friend's house. It could be Inaki, or I think there was another friend that she had as an option. And sometimes she would end up at the studio where her dad was working. At the time, 1988 through 1997, he was working on Married with Children. I don't know if you remember anything about Married with Children.
Loosely. Is that the one with Roseanne?
No. Al Bundy, Peggy Bundy.
Oh, the guy who's the dad.
The guy who's like the dad, who's like
I
a
don't know.
slob and just lazy.
Like, I don't know that I ever watched it, but I'm aware of this.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's spent quite a bit of time on the set of Married with Children, growing up. There's pictures of her on set. There's a video of a couple of the episodes where she's like one of the kids in the background. But I'm going to go to a clip of Meghan talking about her time on the set of Married with Children, because she's going to say it this way, that she says it a lot, no matter what the interview is, and it makes me, I'm going to let it play. You tell me.
Okay.
You tell me.
I didn't mean to make it sound so.
No, it's all right. I'm just.
Your
it's fine.
favorite.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Has he been on anything I would know?
There was a show called Married with Children. Do you
Seen
remember
it?
that
Seen it?
show?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I grew up on the set of Married with Children every day after school for 10 years. I was there.
Wow.
I know. It's
I
a very
should do
perverse
that
place for a little girl who went to Catholic school, no less, to grow up. Because I'm there in my school uniform, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the guests.
Joke. It's a joke, kind of a joke.
Yes.
Kind of
And then the guest stars would be like Tracy Lords, Tia Carrera, these.
yeah.
Those are some women.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
They must have been interested in you walking around in your little schoolgirl outfit. Did they think you were working on the show, perhaps?
Thankfully, no. Come on, I have curly hair and gap in my teeth and.
Yeah.
nothing
Did you see the rest of the people on that show? That's fine.
Yeah, I guess it could have worked. I mean, they watched me grow
So
up.
is
I understand. Okay, so Craig Ferguson is the best late night TV show host ever. We're going to start right there.
Yep, that was the takeaway from that.
Now, while he's going along with the joke of like girl in a schoolgirl uniform, girl in a schoolgirl uniform is like sexy, even though she was like 8 at the time. It's the fact that she starts it like she wants him to go there because she says this every single time that it wasn't really a place for children to be, but I was there and I was in a schoolgirl uniform. And it's just like,
Why does that matter?
why do you want this conversation to go that way?
Right?
It's uncomfy. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. So she's going to the studio with her dad, or she's spending time with her friends. This supposedly is a picture of Doria and Meghan in Rwanda because one of Doria's jobs involved a lot of traveling. I think it was the travel agent job. Tom Bauer said it was her jewelry business made her travel for weeks at a time to like Mexico, Rwanda, and Jamaica.
Interesting.
Meghan remembers a couple of these trips and specifically remembers going to the quote slums, which makes me uncomfy.
I was gonna say, I'm like, interesting.
I don't like that word. Throughout Meghan's life, she's going to travel all over the world all the time, and I'm not even going to be able to tell you all the places she's been. She's just constantly on a plane polluting the air.
Everywhere.
Her first school that she'll go to from ages of 2 to 11 is
A long time.
she refers to it as the Little Red Schoolhouse. So I got a picture from when it was called Little Red Schoolhouse. It is now the Hollywood Schoolhouse. And they updated the exterior. Towards the end of her time at the Little Red Schoolhouse is when she will experience the soap story. Do you know the dish soap story that she has told over and over and over again? It's like every time, even to this day, whenever she talks about good things that she's done, she will start with, when I was 11, I wrote a letter to Procter and Gamble because their clear dish soap ad said that it's going to revolutionize everything. Women across the country are just going to be so excited, or something like that. I can't remember. You'll hear it in a second. But then she was like, that's sexist, and I don't like that. So I'm going to write a letter, and I'm going to tell them to change it. And then through a series of events, they do change the commercial, but nobody honestly believes it was because of Meghan.
Got it. But Meghan believes it's because of Meghan.
Yeah, so according to Tom Bauer and Thomas Markle, she's going to say that she saw this ad in social studies when they were watching TV. She went home and told her dad how mad it made her feel. And then he says Meghan also says it too sometimes, that he told her that she should write a letter to like Hillary Clinton and other major political people. Supposedly, she thinks that's what got her this little clip on Nick News. Do you know who Linda Ellerby is?
The name sounds familiar.
Okay, so the she hosted Nick News for years and years. You're gonna see her in the video.
Okay, I'm like, what does she look like?
Are you gonna see her? You're gonna hear her.
Linda Ellerby?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes, I know who this is.
Okay, but according to Thomas Markle, Meghan wrote these letters. Absolutely nothing happened. Thomas Markle claims that he tried to find connections that he had who could reach out to Hillary Clinton to get her to write his daughter back because she's my princess. That didn't work. So then he used his connections to get Linda Ellerby to do a segment on Nick News.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay.
Nick News.
I hate my wimpy toilet bowl cleaner.
Commercials, they do say a lot of things that most people don't even notice. Mostly like laundry and dishwashing commercials.
The gloves are coming off. Women are fighting greasy pots and pans with Ivory Clear.
When we first saw the commercial, I knew something had to be done because I was furious.
Women are fighting greasy pots and pans.
And I said, wait a minute, how could somebody say that? I think I'll write a letter. The president of Procter & Gamble, Procter & Gamble Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Dear sir, last week at my school, we decided to watch the news for social studies. While through the channels, we saw a commercial for the new Ivory Clear dishwashing liquid. In the commercial, they said women are battling grease, meaning only women do dishes. When I heard this, the boys in my class started saying, yeah, that's where women belong, in the kitchen.
I really don't think it was very nice for the boys to say it.
They knew it hurt my feelings. It makes me feel like they're going to grow up thinking that girls are less than them. You know, like boys are better than girls. So I was wondering if you would be able to change your commercial to people all over America. Thank you, Meghan Markle.
3 months after Meghan wrote to the president of the company, Procter & Gamble changed the commercial. Listen.
The gloves are coming off. People are fighting greasy pots and pans with Ivory Clear.
If you see something that you don't like or are offended by on television or any other place, write letters and send them to the right people, and you can really make a difference for not just yourself, but lots of other people.
So that has fueled her ever since.
It all makes sense.
Oh my gosh. I would play you the speech that she gives to the UN Women's Department. I would play the speech where she tells the story herself, but I cannot listen to it again. Absolutely cannot. Every time she says the sentence, when I was 11, I want to throw the TV out the window. Like, stop. Stop it. You're in your 40s. You've done so many things since then. And this one, I don't even think it was you that got them to change the commercial.
She had a Nick News segment about her, so of course it was her.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, so now we're going to have a couple of quotes from her friends about what kind of person she was as a kiddo.
Meghan was gifted in many ways, but the thing I really admired about her was that she would fight tooth and nail for the things she wanted in life, says Sonia Ardicani, the mother of Susie, her best friend at school. And as Susie said when I asked her if she was surprised that Meghan was going out with a prince, Meghan always got what she wanted. At the same time, Meghan was very considerate, Miss Ardicani says. Meghan's friend recalled the focused teenager telling her, whatever I want, I'm going to get.
There's also allegedly a quote that when Meghan is planning her wedding, that Harry's gonna tell somebody, like one of the staff, what Meghan wants, Meghan gets. It seems to be a theme in her life.
Okay, I'm like, where could this have come from?
So she's got, like we all do, different sides to her, you know? But it seems to be a little extreme. You either don't really know much about her and you've met her at a few things and you're like, she's so lovely. Like when I was talking to her, she made me feel like I was the only one in the room. But if you know anybody who was like actually friends with her at some point in her life, she most likely just cut them off at some point when they were of no use to her anymore. So I think I have a couple of home videos that kind of illustrate the two sides of Meghan.
This is our cabinet. And we have, oh look, so there's a little hot tub. There is a hot tub. See, you can get in or you can get up. It's so nice. Well, this is Big Bear. You guys are probably in hot weather, so this is your vacation. All snow and nice snow. It's nice up here.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.
I like my favorite part of the snow part there is the snow segment is when she's like, so it's so great up here. There's all this snow and snow. Like she quickly realized how boring it was.
She's like, I'm committed to the sentence.
Yeah. I mean, that is Meghan. She's always committed to the bit, and she's a yapper. I am so impressed. As somebody who trips over my words and forgets words frequently and just like loses my track of thought, to see this woman just talk about absolutely nothing for like 10 minutes, and you're just like, that girl can yap.
Surprised she didn't make it on QVC.
She could have.
Right?
Mm-hmm. This is the other one.
Okay, we've been out here for 3 days so far.
And I have not caught a fish.
So we're going to try for another half hour.
And we're going horseback riding.
Okay. Again. Determined. Determined.
Okay. What?
Like, leave me alone. I get it. She was probably like 12 in that video, and probably is like most 12-year-olds. But I also can totally imagine seeing the same face on Meghan now if you displeased her.
Right.
Okay. We're changing it up. Here's some fire.
I was gonna say, I'm like, okay, and now something's on fire.
1992 is the LA riots. When Meghan starts talking more about being biracial around like 2015-ish is when she really starts talking about it more. One of the things she mentions is the LA riots. She claims that she was like witness to parts of the riots. Her dad's gonna say that she didn't see anything. Like she wasn't anywhere near where the riots were. I don't know which is true. She could have seen stuff on television because it was literally all over the television and maybe absorbed that as a memory. But yeah, the topic of Meghan and how she feels about being biracial is a very complicated topic because sometimes she'll say stuff like it's so hard being biracial because I don't know how to classify myself. And like sometimes people made racist remarks, but more towards her mother, who a lot of people did not think was her mom because her mom was so much darker than her.
Mm.
Um, and then at the same time, in the Netflix special, she'll tell you that it was shocking when she went to the UK and she would occasionally see like a headline that was a bit racist or racially insensitive or comments from weirdo freaks on the internet that are very racist and horrible. Like that was all new to her because she, quote, was never treated like a black person. So I don't know which way it is.
Right.
But we're gonna listen to Megan talk about what she says happened during the LA riots.
I remember the curfew, and I remember rushing back home, and on that drive home seeing ash fall from the sky and smelling the smoke and seeing the smoke billow out of buildings and seeing people run out of buildings carrying bags and looting. And I remember seeing men in the back of a van just holding guns and rifles. And I remember pulling up to the house and seeing the tree that had always been there completely charred. And those memories don't go away.
I thought she was done talking there for a second.
So it's a clip from a speech she gave to a graduating class in 2020, which is why it's on Zoom. And also, she is comparing what was happening in the summer of 2020 after the George Floyd debacle, where everybody was like protesting and rioting all the time, all over the world. This is going to be really nitpicky. But in Megan's story here, she is talking about the kind of trauma of seeing the riots and seeing the fire and seeing people running through the streets as if that's the traumatic part. And then saying that it's sad that these college or high school graduates, I don't remember who they were, these graduates are having to experience something very similar. For me, the traumatic part is not the riots and is not the protesting and is not the aftermath. It is what happened to George Floyd. That's traumatic to watch. That should not have happened. When you talk about the LA riots, the video of Rodney King being beaten by 4 police officers is the traumatic part.
Right, not the riot itself.
Right. It is very nitpicky, but I just feel like her topic of conversation was just like slightly off.
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say there, except I just feel like she wasn't paying attention.
She didn't get it.
Yeah, she didn't get it. But she looks great when she's saying it.
And she's married to a prince, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. This is also this quote or this clip here that I'm going to have you read is in reference to not only how her father like tried to support her through being biracial as best as he could, but also that, again, Meghan liked her dad. They had a good relationship. He spoiled her rotten. He loved the crap out of her. Okay? So later on, when she completely fucking cuts him off and never talks to him again, it's insane. Okay,
Ready?
go ahead and read that.
Okay. Meghan's father did his utmost to help her deal with this prejudice and teach her to take pride in her ethnic background. When she asked for a Barbie doll family set for Christmas one year, he bought two, one with black figures, the other with white. On Christmas morning, Meghan has recalled how she found a black mom doll, a white dad doll, and a child in each color. My dad had taken the sets apart and customized my family to mirror their own. That's so sweet.
Right?
Once, when she had come home from school confused, having been asked to tick a box stating her ethnicity, the options being black, white, Hispanic, or Asian, he told her, next time you draw your own box. Meghan took his advice. Like, for a white guy, like, that's so progressive
Right.
in that time frame. Like, I mean, clearly he was already in an interracial relationship. Like,
Yeah.
but still.
But to actually think about it from her perspective and
Right.
give a shit.
Yeah.
For a white man in the 90s, it's pretty impressive.
Exactly.
I think it's funny how even I just referenced the 90s as if it was like a slightly backwards time because people were definitely not as progressive as they were like 30 years later. It's just that I remember growing up in the 90s and every time somebody talked about like how progressive the times were back then, they'd be like, "Welcome to the 90s." Like in my head, welcome to the 90s is like, welcome to the future.
But also, like, having lived in the 90s, not really.
It was a while ago, okay? It was like 5 years ago. Okay. So,
Immaculate Heart. Oh, we live in Immaculate Heart School.
it is immaculate. She's going to go here from 11 to 18.
It really bothers me that it's high school and middle school.
Yeah, it really bothers me that middle school is kind of broken up because she goes to one school from 2 to 11, and then the other one 11 to 18. And for me, middle school is like what? Like fifth grade?
For me, it was 5th through 8th grade.
Yeah. So like 9, 10 to like 13, 14.
Yes.
It's a really dumb thing to be irritated about.
It is, but it's there.
But here I am. This is a Catholic school. Can't quite pin what exactly Meghan's relation to religion is. I don't know if she seems like she's kind of spiritual, but more in like a yogi sense. Like she tends to do more of that like yoga and Ayurveda stuff.
Got it.
Than like organized Western religion. But she went to Catholic school. Apparently, her parents raised her to be Episcopalian. And then later she's gonna. I don't know if I want to ruin it. I'm not gonna ruin it. Well, later, she's gonna marry Harry, and she's gonna have to be baptized to be part of the Church of England.
Right.
But whether or not she goes to church, I have no evidence of that. This is how Meghan describes her existence in school.
But I never had anyone to sit with at lunch. I was a little bit of a loner and really shy and didn't know where I fit in, Meghan said. And so I was like, okay, well then I'll become the president of the Multicultural Club and the president of sophomore class and the president of this and the French club. And by doing that, I had meetings at lunchtime, so I didn't have to worry about who I would sit with or what I would do because I was always so busy.
Okay. So to me, this paints a picture that you're like a socially awkward, nerdy girl who has no friends.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't sit with people at lunch,
Right.
the people I sat with at lunch were like kind of my friends. But it was usually like I had one friend and I would sit with that friend. And if they sat with other people, I sat with them too.
Yeah.
um, this doesn't jive for me with being homecoming queen because that is a literal popularity contest.
Right? Okay.
Okay. I'm just throwing that out there. This is the homecoming, and I believe she got a prom there too. I know she, at least for homecoming, she went to St. Francis because she went to a girls' school, and so they kind of have to like link up with a boys' school if they want to do boy-girl things. So, her date is Danny Segura, and he is not her boyfriend. He's just her date.
Got it.
Um,
So never to be seen again.
exactly. He talked to the Sun on Sunday briefly, recalling the weekend, which also included a dance because it's homecoming. The British articles talking about Meghan's prom and homecoming, they don't quite realize what those two things are.
Got it.
Because they're like, she went to homecoming and there was a dance, and it's like, that's part of homecoming.
Right.
He is quoted as saying, "It was awesome. She's awesome."
End quote.
Excellent. Thank you. I guess he also revealed that his older brother, Lewis, dated Meghan at some point.
Okay.
I think that's weird. That must have been after, because you wouldn't date somebody and then take their brother to homecoming after you dated them.
I
Would you?
mean, maybe.
Mayhaps. Meghan is obviously very much into theater. So she was in lots of plays and musicals. Some of them were actually at St. Francis too. And her dad would like to help out with all of these school productions. He's a really terrible father who,
So absent, so uncaring.
yeah. 1996, she's gonna go on a trip to Europe with Nanaki's family. Gonna go to, it looks like, Paris, and I would just say London, but I think they also went to Bath, so they went to England. It's fun to just see her in front of Buckingham Palace, while she's claiming that she knows absolutely nothing about the British monarchy.
Not a damn thing.
I don't know anything. In the school yearbook, her photo was accompanied by a quotation of Eleanor Roosevelt. She chose, "Women are like tea bags." They don't realize how strong they are until they're in hot water. On this picture, the Eleanor Roosevelt at the bottom, I don't know if it was in the yearbook or if somebody just added that in Photoshop or something. Because she has a little bit of a history of kind of almost pretty much plagiarizing people, but notably Eleanor Roosevelt. In 2015, that UN speech she's going to give where she's going to talk about the goddamn soap again, she's also going to quote Eleanor Roosevelt and not give her the credit. So it seems like Meghan is she's so brilliant and she just can throw words together. So Eleanor Roosevelt says, it isn't enough to talk about peace. One must believe in it. And it isn't enough to believe in it. One must work at it. In Meghan's speech, she says it isn't enough to simply talk about equality. One must believe in it. And it isn't enough to believe in it. One must work at it. Let us work at it together starting now. I think I probably won't have the time or the space when we get to the next episode where we talk about Meghan and Harry after they meet. Um, but there's been other things since then where it seems like she's stealing ideas from other people and not crediting them.
Got it.
Yeah. For college, she's gonna go to Northwestern. I guess her first pick she didn't get. I think it was Princeton. But I guess Northwestern is really good for their drama department. So this was her next favorite place that she applied to. And then it comes to the question of how her college was funded because it says, however, she had a battle to fund her time there. That's the first part of the sentence. She had a battle to fund her time there, with her father taking out loans to pay for her tuition and her mother also contributing. She also took part in a work-study program and borrowed money from her mother. So your mom's already contributing and you borrowed money from your mom? And your dad took out massive loans? So apparently she applied and got a couple of scholarships and she did a work study program and like that was her contribution to paying for college.
Okay.
Well, I did that too. But I also took out loans myself at the ripe old age of 17, which crippled me financially for a very long time.
Over a decade.
Yeah. Um, so I find it a little irritating.
Right?
I'm gonna try to tell everybody I worked so hard to pay for it. Like, I had a work study job and I got some scholarships. And I'm not going to mention the fact that my dad paid for this. This is just a continuation of the I ate at the $5 salad bar because we were so poor and I had to work full time or work part time as like a 13-year-old so we could pay the rent. And it's just like, no, your dad paid for a lot of things like your private school, your university. When she leaves university, he's gonna apparently help her pay her rent and put gas in her car for a while. But she's doing this all on her own. This first picture on the left is Meghan in a Northwestern sweatshirt from a Instagram story from earlier this year. And people were saying she only has that sweatshirt because Diana had the same sweatshirt. There's also conspiracy that she chose Northwestern because in 1996, a few years before she went to college, Diana visited Northwestern and there's like a whole plaque and everything. Like it was a big deal. Conspiracy. Allegedly. She was obviously in a sorority because
No way.
why wouldn't she? She was in Kappa Kappa Gamma. She served as a recruitment chair. And it says that she did volunteer work with the Glass Slipper Project, but I know as being part of a sorority, you have to do community
Yeah,
service
that's like the whole
somehow.
thing.
So, cool. Towards the end of her time in college, she's going to go to Argentina for a little bit, for like a couple months. She's gonna tell people repeatedly in interviews that when I was 20, I lived in Argentina and I worked for the embassy. Technically, not untrue, but it does make it sound like that was your job and you lived there, lived there. Not that you were there for a couple of months on like a part-time internship that your uncle got you because he had a government job.
But that's very Nepo baby of her, and that's not the narrative she wants out there.
Exactly. So, this is her Uncle Mike.
I think that's what happens when you're quote-unquote underclass and trying to rise above the reality of your situation. She didn't invite a lot of people, so I don't feel that bad. She didn't discriminate against me.
He's talking about not being invited to the royal wedding.
Got it. It would have been nice for her to have had some of her family, but I don't understand her. I don't communicate with her because I understand they don't accept mail at the palace. I don't. I'm like, what? I don't know what I'd say to her if I could write to her. It's up to her to make the first move as far as I'm concerned. He added that he had helped her out at a time when others hadn't. I've probably done more for her than most, he said. I personally talked to the ambassador of Argentina for her. I helped her out and I didn't ask for anything in return. It could be that she's bossy towards staff because she's been spoiled by my brother. He doted on her a lot, more than he did his other children. Tom spent more time with her and helped her in school and stuff like that. If she wants to have a closer relationship, that's fine with me, but it's fine by me, but it has to come from her. She's the one that has thrown up the boundaries, not me.
She's very grateful for everything he did for her.
Clearly.
In 2013, she'll tell Marie Claire, I wanted more than that. And by that, she means she originally went to college with a theater degree only. So she wanted more than just a theater avenue in life. She said, I had always loved politics. And it's weird. This is the first time I'm hearing about it, but okay. So I ended up changing my major completely. So I ended up changing my major completely. And then started double majoring in theater and international relations.
That's not the same thing.
That is not changing it entirely.
That's adding a second one.
That's just adding another major. She can yap, but it doesn't make sense all the time.
Clearly.
While she was down there, she took the Foreign Service Officer test, which would be required to pass to continue working with the State Department, and she failed the test. So we went back to being an actress. When she got back from Argentina, she went studying abroad in Spain. These pictures are not from when she studied abroad. They are from later in life, but they were the only pictures I could get of her in Madrid. Something that has always bothered me is she's claimed fluency in Spanish. And what she says is that she was fluent in Spanish, and then she lived in Argentina, as she puts it. And so now she has an Argentinian accent on her Spanish. She was there for a couple months. So I don't think that's true, that you would have an accent. And she still claims that she has this accent, like 20-something years later, because she spent 2 months in Argentina.
And she speaks so much Spanish.
All the time. Like, I have a feeling she's more comfortable in Spanish than I am. But that's because my Spanish is Duolingo Spanish. Like, but I don't, all the times I've heard her speak Spanish, the words are not that complicated. Like, I can understand what she's saying. And I feel like I could also have the same conversation.
This is like how were you in Sicily? Were you in Sardinia? Where were you for?
Sicily.
But that's like saying I have a Sicilian accent.
Exactly.
My Italian?
Although in Sicily, I would have to say, like, I speak Sicilian.
But still, like, 1-to-1. It's a pretty close for the amount of time you were there.
Right. When I speak Italian, I think it is a standard Italian accent that you would speak in class learning Italian. Other than that, Italian has a lot of different dialects. And so, depending on where you are, you can probably just get away with standard Italian, but the people around you are probably speaking in something else that you can't understand quite. But I also included these pictures of Meghan in, what year is this? Like 2015 or something? Going to Spain because she does display some of her extensive Spanish. Gracias, Madrid. It's been many moons since I lived here. You know, when she lived there studying abroad with a study abroad program. And I'm loving it even more than before. Buenas noches y nos vemos pronto.
She's so fluent in Spanish.
She's just so fluent. So she's going to graduate from Northwestern in 2003 with her double major that she had changed completely. This is her bestie, Nanaki. They're going to go on a road trip from, I don't know if it was from Chicago back to Los Angeles, probably, just to like bring her stuff back. So we got some pictures of, we got some pictures of the road trip. Here's just like the middle of nowhere. That's nice. This is a place called Keensburg, somewhere in colorful Colorado. Oh, wait, we gotta go back, because look at those early 2000s eyebrows.
Woo, pencil thin.
And obviously we had to stop at the Bellagio in Las Vegas.
Of course.
She's going back to LA. She's gonna get that apartment.
Humphrey Yogurt.
Did you hear her talk about that?
No, I'm just looking at the name and it gives me joy.
She likes to also talk about Humphrey Yogurt repeatedly. She does a lot of things repeatedly, and it drives me nuts. But, you know, for most of her career, she was like a minor celebrity, and so she did a lot of interviews, but usually nobody saw all the interviews. So she's used to just repeating the same answers over and over and over again. But when you're a major celebrity, you can't do that anymore.
Right.
We've heard the soap story. We've heard that you used to work at Humphrey Yogurt. It's a very hilarious name.
What else you got?
We heard you worked at Paper Source. We heard. So some of the other jobs that she would do while trying to work as an actress, trying to do the grind, make her way up the ladder. She worked at the local frozen yogurt shop, Humphrey Yogurt. Pause for hilarity. She worked at a donut shop. She was a nanny. She had several like contract jobs for like modeling and smaller acting roles. She was a hostess at a restaurant called Mirabelle. And in an episode of With Love Meghan in this last season, she told somebody, I was a great hostess. It was a great job. The manager was like, do you want to be a waitress? And I was like, I'm really good at hostessing because I understood my lane. So no, I'll take less tips and do the only thing I'm really good at. Welcome. That's the only thing she's really good at. She worked at Paper Source, which is where she taught people how to wrap presents and where she probably started getting into more stationary stuff like her calligraphy side business. She said I didn't wait tables. Technically true because you were a hostess with the mostess. I didn't wait tables. I did calligraphy for for invitations for like Robert Thicke and Paula Patton's wedding. She also did calligraphy for Dolce & Gabbana's celebrity correspondences for the holidays. She did it for different hotels. This is a far more lucrative business than I thought it would be,
I was gonna say, I'm like, clearly there's a market for this.
especially since even in the early 2000s you could type this stuff up. In 2004, a year after she graduates, she's going to start dating Trevor Engelson. He is the owner of a management slash production company called Underground. He was born in New York. He's 5 years older than Meghan. And from what I have read, everybody said that they were fantastic together. They look like they're having fun. There's lots of pictures of them like traveling around the world, like Greece and stuff.
He, in the middle photo at the bottom, looks a little like Matt Smith.
A little bit.
You see it a
Also,
little?
the one on the all the way to the right, he's got a very Matt Smith mouth area.
Yes.
We got a picture of her headshot and her CV for being an actress. I enjoy that she credits herself for the Nick News thing she did when she was 11 as a supporting player.
Hysterical.
In the theater department, almost all of these, if not all of them, are plays she did in school. So I guess technically that's experience. But I feel like you should probably qualify that it's something you did in school.
Right. Not like on Broadway.
Yeah. She says that she had difficulty getting roles early in her career due to being, quote, ethnically ambiguous. She said I was not black enough for the black roles and I wasn't white enough for the white ones. And in another interview, she said, like, if I wore yellow, I could come off more as a black person. And if I wore red, I could play a Hispanic person. It's a very strange thing to say.
Feels very racist.
Yeah.
Just saying.
So in the interview she had with Emily Greed, I don't know if you remember which one that is.
Nope.
It was after the one with Jamie Kern Lima. So she did an interview after that with a woman named Emily Greed who works with like the Kardashians and skins and everything. She told Emily Greed that it was actually worse for her that she was ethnically ambiguous because she could get into more auditions, which means she got more no's. And I'm like, that is one way to put it. Unless you're all the other actors who don't get as many auditions, period.
Right?
Well,
Okay.
it's very interesting that you kind of made yourself a victim of something that was good.
Right?
Weird. There is also a conspiracy that on her CV she put that she's Caucasian. The only evidence I can find of that on the internet is there is a profile for her on a website that may or may not have to do with porn. I did not go look
Fair.
to double check. And on that profile, it says Caucasian, but there's a very good chance she did not make that profile. Somebody else did.
Right.
Yeah.
And she was wearing neither red nor yellow.
Well, I don't know. She may have. Her first on-screen appearance was a small role as a nurse in an episode of
General
General
Hospital.
Hospital. Then I wrote, "Thanks, Dad."
Nepo baby.
Yeah. But she worked so hard. She got this all on her own.
She has been working to pay her rent and put gas in her car since she was 13.
Yep. Yep, yep, yep. Her car at 13.
Yeah.
She would have small guest roles on television shows and movies. In 2004, she's a little blip of a role in Century City. For her role in Century City, she told the casting directors that she was a SAG-AFTRA member when she was not. But after being cast, the employers were obliged to help her join the union according to the Taft-Hartley Act. Feels like a lie, Megan.
I was gonna say, I'm like, yeah, go ahead and like put a new employer in that position.
Uh-huh. She was, I'm not going to list everything that she pops up in, but some like bigger stuff. She's in CSI. She was on Fringe for 2 episodes.
Oh, really? I liked Fringe.
I know you did. We watched it at your house.
It was good.
She has a little blip of a role in Get Him to the Greek. She has a little blip of a role in Remember Me with Robert Pattinson, which was produced by her then partner, Trevor Engelson. And she was also in Horrible Bosses, and
Was she?
it's a little tiny thing. But one of her biggest jobs to date at the moment would be Deal or No Deal, where she was a briefcase girl for 34 episodes. Later on, she will complain about this job that all they cared about was my looks. They didn't want to hear me say anything or use my brain.
Yeah.
What did you think a briefcase girl was?
Girl with briefcase, businesswoman.
You were like, not only like Vanna White, but if Vanna White had like 30 other people doing her job at the same time.
Right?
You're 1/30th of Vanna White.
In reality, we know nobody else's names that was a briefcase girl, so be glad.
I mean, now we know Chrissy Teigen was one.
Oh, was she?
They talked about it on With Love Megan for a little bit on this second season.
Never actually went back and finished it.
It's very funny when they talk about the show. It's like they're talking about working on the show at the same time and some common things that happened while they were working there, but there's no actual like, I remember working with you. So it was
funny.
really awkward. Like, I don't know if you should talk about it much if you're not even going to lie to me and tell me that you were friends. Megan said I was the ill-fated number 26, which for some reason no one would ever choose. I would end up standing there forever in these terribly uncomfortable and inexpensive 5-inch heels, just waiting for someone to pick my number so I could go and sit down. Sorry, Megan.
I just wanted to sit!
It looks like somebody picked her at one point. She's very excited to open
Right?
a
She's
$5
like, she's not even stoked that it's $5. She's stoked that she gets to sit down.
Yeah. 2010 and 2012. Conspiracy allegedly. She ran a blog called The Working Actress. The picture on the left is supposed to be like a Wayback Machine little snapshot of what the page looked like. The pictures on the right are a couple of tweets I found when I went on the Wayback Machine and found the Twitter for The Working Actress. And it does sound like Megan. One of the tweets says, when my acupuncturist puts one lone needle in my forehead, he calls me his little unicorn. Strangely, this makes my day. And the other one is I saw an um, Ayurvedic doctor this weekend, and it blew my mind. Yet now I'm starting to feel like a little hippie chick with all my alternative meds. You are a little hippie chick.
I was like, what?
You're your mother's daughter.
You're going to an Ayurvedic doctor and you were getting acupuncture. Of course you are.
Yeah. 2010, she's also going to get engaged to Trevor after, at this point, 4 years of dating.
4 years of marriage. We're gonna get engaged.
These people in the picture are so much more tan than we are. It's kind of scary.
A little creepy. Little skin cancery.
I don't understand. Every time you see her with like a spray tan, because she does it every now and then, all of a sudden she's just like really dark, and you're like, that's not what you look like.
What happened?
Especially because she's always dark, but like a very red orange shade. You're just like, that's not what you look like. So Thomas Markle says about her relationship with Trevor that he got to know my mother, so Meghan's grandma, and he was always so kind and supportive. He was a perfect gentleman to my daughter and treated me with great respect. When he asked for Meghan's hand, I could not have been happier. That's great. Sounds lovely.
Then what happened?
Well, then we have a 4-day wedding extravaganza where the ceremony was apparently like 10 minutes of the 4 days. It looks like mostly it was beer pong.
Yeah.
The British article talk about this wedding in it's in Ocho Rios, Jamaica. When they talk about it, they mention the fact that there was a lot of pot. There's a lot of the weed at the wedding. And you're just like, why do you guys get your panties in such a bunch over some weed in Jamaica?
Right? In that top left photo, it looks like they're like most of them are just like dancing in bed sheets. Like they pulled the sheets off their hotel beds.
It literally looks like that. Okay. 2011.
Suits, right?
She's gonna start working on Suits, don't you know? Which is like, of the things that she goes back to the most, I think the soap story might be second only to how much she talks about working on Suits.
Well, because it's the only thing of note that she did.
It's the only thing she did for an extended period of time, which is funny because somewhere along the way she heard this phrase, if you're not going to give it 5 years, don't give it 5 minutes of your time. Which is so not her motto on anything she's done, except for Suits. The royal family she couldn't give 5 years. Any of the projects she's done since she left have been like a one and done. I think this is just more of me talking about how she was still a big fan of her dad. And she said, I will always find my light, like the lighting on the stage. I will always find my light, no question. And if I don't, I'll know, because my dad will be the first person to call me and say, like, you need to have him bring another 2K in. Why aren't you using this sort of lighting gel? So he's clearly watching everything she does.
Invested.
He's watching everything she does very closely. This is some Facebook statuses from Trevor Engelson. He is very much a horrible husband.
Yeah.
I'd like you to read them. Tell me how horrible he was.
Wait. Oh, they're not in order. Okay, I'm gonna read them in order. Tomorrow night, Suits premiere on USA. Watch my badass fiance. So proud of my girl. Season 2 for Suits. Too cool. And these ones
Too
are
cool.
the same. Watch Suits tonight. So proud of my amazing wife.
He's very excited. They shot Suits in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I think you heard that she lived in Toronto.
Yes.
Okay. So they get married in 2011. The same year she starts working on Suits. She now is spending 9 months a year in Toronto. And so they are traveling a lot back and forth. It seems like maybe he's traveling up there more often than she is traveling back down. But he might have like more free time than she does working on the show. But that's going to go on for like a year or so. And then in 2013, they're going to separate. By 2014, officially divorced. After 6 or 7 years of being together, she got a good job. She didn't need her producer, boyfriend, husband anymore. Toodaloo, my friend. I am off.
Served your purpose, I'm out.
According to Andrew Morton's book, doing his version of Meghan's biography, according to what Andrew Morton said, had heard, Meghan cut it off so abruptly. This wedding, this marriage, she cut it off so abruptly that she put her rings in a FedEx package and just mailed them back to him.
But didn't, like, say anything?
I'm guessing there might be like a letter in there, or like maybe they separated over the phone right before then. I just think it's horrific that you would end your marriage in another country. You wouldn't visit your husband to be like, hey, this isn't working. I'm sorry.
I mean...
So you remember Nanaki?
Yes.
Her bestie forever.
Until now.
Until now. Nanaki, okay, I wish I could just read you the whole article that she gave the mail because it's just full of nuggets. But the quote I chose for this is she said, then, after the wedding, it was like a light switched off. There's Meghan before fame and Meghan after fame. After 3 seasons of Suits, she called me to say the marriage was over. And Nanaki did not appreciate how she ended their relationship with Trevor. And she must have told Meghan because that was the last time she talked to Meghan.
Oh! Okay.
2013, she's going to start. She hires Sunshine Sacks, the PR company, to like start pimping her out. This is also the year that she's now co-hosting the 2013 Global Gift Gala dinner in London.
Stress.
I
hate the stress.
I mean, it's very 2013.
I guess.
At this event, she's going to meet up with, well, she's going to be in London for a little bit, right? Around the time that she's going to co-host this gala. She's going to try to network in London while she's there. Some of the thought is that maybe she was trying to network as like a backup plan in case something happens to Suits. Any places to go.
Mm-hmm.
One of the people she's going to meet up with is Lizzie Cundy. We're just going to cut to that because I'm going to have you read the section from the book Revenge about the kind of conversations Meghan was having in London to do some networking.
The following night was Meghan's big chance. She had been flown to London to co-host a TV gala with fashion model Oliver Cheshire, whom she didn't know. Standing on the red carpet at, did they say Leicester? Leicester Square, Meghan grinned. At the moment, Grasping Cheshire's hand, there was nothing she wanted more than her photo to feature in the next day's tabloid newspapers. She prayed for publicity. The editors rejected her plea. Their readers had no interest in Miss Nobody. In the cinema, Meghan
This
met
is what
Lizzie
I'm
Cundy.
talking about. See what I'm
Yeah,
talking about? Where like this book is written a little slanted.
clearly. Inside the cinema, Meghan met Lizzie Cundy, a glamour-seeking TV personality. Over a drink, Meghan confessed that Hollywood was brutal and she had failed to make a breakthrough. Her ambition was to feature on an English reality show like Made in Chelsea, and she wanted an English boyfriend. Do you know any famous guys? She asked. I'm single and I really love English men. Do you know any man who's free? Once again, she mentioned Ashley Cole. He's following me on Twitter. Cundy's own marriage to a footballer had hit the rocks. She was not keen on Cole. Meghan seemed disappointed. At the end of the evening, Meghan returned to her hotel alone. Her tips to paparazzi and Ransom's efforts had produced just one passing mention in the Daily Mail gossip column. There was no photograph.
I would like to point out that I not only believe most of the story because Lizzie Cundy has come out since then saying that when Meghan first came over to the UK, Lizzie gave her like contacts and helped her come into the social scene. And then after she married Prince Harry, she stopped talking to Lizzie Cundy and never spoke to her again.
Cute.
Seems like a pattern. 2013 is when this gala happens. 2014 is when her divorce is official. So she just mailed those rings back and is immediately going to the UK going, you got any men? Any famous
I
ones?
like English men.
Especially ones with money and fame. Okay, mid 2014, back in the old Toronto. Who's gonna start hanging out with and dating and eventually living with Canadian celebrity chef and restaurateur Corey Vitiello. They will end up getting, they're going to rent a 3-bedroom apartment, or I think it was a townhouse. This is a 3-bedroom place. And then they would adopt a couple of dogs over time. There's the little guy is Guy from the first season of With Love Megan. The
Yep.
little guy that would hang out on the floor. And then the bigger dog is Bogart, which is her first dog. We'll talk about Bogart in the next episode. Because she doesn't have Bogart anymore now, does she?
Spoiler alert.
Okay, so so also dating Corey was great because as a celebrity chef, he was part of the Toronto scene, right? So then she starts being able to connect with more important people. In that networking is going to reach out to the Trudeaus. There's Justin and Sophie Trudeau. She met Barack Obama. She wasn't like hanging out with him, but she did meet him once.
Cool.
There's also many times you see her having dinner with the golfer Rory McIntyre or McIlroy, sorry, and the hotelier from New York. His name is John Fitzpatrick. These two are important because the way she's friendly with Rory McIlroy, people thought that they were dating. And I don't think her boyfriend Corey would appreciate that. Also, she like never in public confirms that she's dating Corey. Like she never talks about him. In the next point we're going to talk about, she starts the blog website, The Tig, where she talks about her life. On one of those articles or one of those blog posts, she talks about her favorite 5 chefs ever. and he doesn't make the list.
Woof.
With John Fitzpatrick, you see her show up with him in places like New York and in Ireland, and some people wonder if maybe she was sleeping with him for some reason. I am not going to say that. I'm not even going to allege that. I'm pretty sure this guy just thought, that's a nice, pretty lady, and I'm going to take her around.
Okay.
This is what the tag looked like. It's very minimalist. I just
Why was it
happened to
called a
land on
tag?
the article, the blog post birthday suit, which she posted on her 33rd birthday, and the picture of her is in her birthday suit. So it's going to be a blog, and then eventually it's going to start like expanding and becoming a full website where she has friends who actually have like little segments and pages on her website. Like Daniel Martin, her makeup artist, does some stuff about makeup. She has lots of she has she has pages where she can talk about food because she claims to be a foodie, travel because she's always somewhere else, fashion. She thinks she's good at fashion. That's debatable. But the shop button is my favorite because this is full influencer. When you go to the shop page, it's just like stuff that she uses and she wants you to buy because it's probably an affiliate link.
Nice.
It's like I call them like super influencers when you're like a minor celebrity and you use that to be an influencer and make money that way.
Right.
I don't like that. I feel like being an influencer should be like a bottom up job. Like you started with a page and you just started posting content and then people liked you organically. Not like, I'm on TV. Now come over here and buy stuff I tell you to. Would you like to read the about page of the TIG? Because it's very Meghan.
Several years ago, I had a sip of wine called Tignello? Tignanello?
Tignanello.
Tignanello. Oh yeah, it does say pronounced. But let's be real. In the States, most people said Tignanello. Yep, that was me a second ago. Or just plain old Tig. The Italiano of it all gets a little tricky, so the bartender kept it simple. It was a glass of Tig. So there I am, with very minimal wine knowledge, and I take a sip of this wine. It wasn't just red or white. Suddenly I understood what people meant by the body, legs, and structure of wine. It was an aha moment at its finest. For me, it became a Tig moment, a moment of getting it. From that point on, any new awareness, any new discovery, or oh, I get it moment was a Tig moment. At New York Fashion Week, understanding that clothes aren't just a piece of fabric, but that they can be art, so Tig. Traveling off the beaten track and hand diving for sea urchins in Jamaica, understanding that travel is an adventure and discovery, culture and surprise. A Tig moment, indeed. And the same could be said for my love of cooking and dining, for cultivating friendships that inspire you, for the idea of beauty and what that means to us, an understanding that comes with living your life to the fullest so that it bursts at the seams, an unbridled joy, an insatiable curiosity. That's what Tig means to me. Thank you for joining me on this adventure. I could not be more grateful for your support and companionship on this beautiful, wild ride. XXMM.
Not as ever.
Not as ever.
And at the bottom of every page of the TIG, it says the TIG is a hub for the discerning palate. Those with a hunger for food, travel, fashion, and beauty. I wanted to create a space to share all of these loves, to invite friends to share theirs as well, and to be the breeding ground for ideas and excitement for an inspired lifestyle. This is the TIG, and this is just the beginning. XXMM.
This sounds like the voiceover for like an opening to a show. Like, this is the TIG, and this is just the beginning.
It is also very senior millennial coded. Like romanticizing your life kind of deal.
100%.
She, in 2014, joins One Young World, a global community that empowers young leaders to build a fair and sustainable future. This picture is from 2014, where she spoke at the summit in Dublin, and in 2016, she will attend the 2016 opening ceremony in Ottawa. The only other thing I know about One Young World is that somebody else around the same time that they got to speak for them was Amber Heard, who I have a lot of the same feelings about. Miss, I pledged a donation. So did you donate the money? Yeah, I pledged it. No, did you donate it? Yeah, I pledged it. Ma'am, did money leave your account and go to the charity's account? Yeah, I pledged it. Fuck off. Just fuck off. February 2015. We're going to tap into our good old buddy, John Fitzpatrick, because she wants to do more philanthropic work. For me, I get the feeling it's for her own benefit to seem like a good person.
Right.
And to also, at the same time, get her face on a stage with a microphone.
That
That's
too.
her favorite. According to Revenge, she talks to John Fitzpatrick, who knows Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton's office contacts the head of UN Women in New York City. Some of the UN takes Meghan on a one-week internship in New York, and then to front a promotional video advocating female leadership. While Revenge says that it was like a networking thing where she essentially reached out because she wanted to do stuff, she will tell people that the UN reached out to her through the TIG because she's so impressive on the TIG that they needed her to speak for them. That makes sense.
That was the vibe I was getting from that blog.
Mm-hmm. So in 2015, she'll have the UN Women's Conference where she's going to talk about soap, where she's going to plagiarize Eleanor Roosevelt. And according to Revenge, so again, might not be true, after this speech, because she was her title was an advocate for the cause, she wanted to be an official UN ambassador, and she'd asked a couple of times and they kept refusing, and then she never did anything with the UN again.
Okay.
Well, not with UN Women's. I guess for a brief moment she does something with United Nations entity for gender equality and the empowerment of women, but still not an ambassador. And I don't think after that she's literally done anything with the UN.
Nice.
2015. This is a good one. She goes to Malta.
Ooh.
Okay. In Revenge, says she went to Elle in the US to ask if she could write an article about being mixed race, and she recalled that her grandmother Markle mentioned that her father's great-great Irish grandmother Mary Bird lived in Malta with an English soldier named Thomas Bird. They married and had a child in Malta in 1862. So, Meghan told Elle that she was like whatever percentage that is Maltese, and that she wanted to go to Malta to like explore her roots. But in actuality, it was her Irish, British family members who were stationed in Malta for military purposes. And her relative was born on Malta technically, but is not Maltese.
Got it.
And now, while you could say maybe she's just fudging it a little bit, she said, people said I was going to meet people that look like me. And when she got there, she said, I'm home. You're not Maltese. But she got Elle to talk to the tourism board at Malta. And somehow they all arranged this to be a free trip to Malta, where people are going to take pictures of her being Maltese. And she's at home in Malta. Look at her.
So Maltese.
Look at her.
She's like, you could just zip her up into like a little
Probably should.
portable body bag.
In 2016, she's going to become a global ambassador for the evangelical Christian charity World Vision Canada. In January of 2016, she's going to go to Rwanda for the Clean Water Campaign, where she's going to help them build a well. According to Revenge, she had some demands for this trip. He says that she required first-class tickets to and from Rwanda, and she needed to bring along her favorite Canadian photographer to take pictures of her, and her favorite hairdresser, because he's the only one that knows how to work with my hair. Costing a lot of money to do this. This is Meghan's quote on how she feels about being able to be an actress and also do her philanthropic work.
Writing on her website, she said, "My life shifts from refugee camps to red carpets. I choose them both because these worlds can, in fact, coexist." She continued, "I've never wanted to be a lady who lunches. I've always wanted to be a woman who works. And this type of work is what feeds my soul and fuels my purpose."
Yeah. I get really tired of her, like, really outdated, like, early 2000s feminist takes where you say stuff that sounds like I'm a woman who works, but, like, your real life doesn't follow any of that. Like, you are a stereotypical pretty lady who has married people to elevate yourself. That's not exactly feminism. And now you are not doing a lot of philanthropic work. You are selling jam, and you have a cooking show.
Cooking.
Yeah, sorry. A lifestyle show. All right, so in this article, she's saying, I think I missed the title of the article because I put that thing in the way. But the title of the article was that in Tom Bower's book, Revenge, he heard that when she went to Rwanda, she did like the required things she had to do with the kids and got the pictures she needed to get. And then apparently she like disappeared for hours with like a bunch of clothes so that she could have pictures taken. Don't know if it's true, but it tracks. Also, the other thing is this quote about my life shifts from refugee camps to red carpets, and I choose them both because it can, in fact, coexist, as in, like, I love my life. I love doing both of these things. But then in another article, she says, go ahead, and Cassie.
She wrote how she had been invited to the ceremony, but said, "My gut said no."
The BAFTAs. She was invited to the BAFTAs, and she said no.
Got it. "Well, my two worlds can coexist. I've learned that for me, being able to keep a foot in both is a delicate balance. Because while they're not mutually exclusive, guiding my heart through the swinging pendulum from excess to lack of access is sometimes challenging. My brain, heart, spirit couldn't shift gears that quickly. From the purpose-driven work I had been doing all week in Rwanda to the glitz and glamour of an award show, plus the pomp and circumstance that comes with it.
So this quote is actually before the other one that I gave you. Because
So which was it?
she went to Rwanda to just like visit, to like go to talks and stuff, like meetings, and learn about what was going on there. And then she said this, where she couldn't possibly go to Rwanda and then go to the BAFTAs. And then the next year she goes to Rwanda. She's like, I just love how I can go from that to the red carpet. It's my favorite thing. I love my life. It doesn't track, okay?
No.
It's not a big deal. Doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's just more shit where you're just like,
Which
do
is
you
it?
listen to what you say anymore?
Right.
I think what happened is, as a smaller celebrity, like I said, you can go to all these interviews and say the same thing repeatedly because nobody saw the other interviews. Another thing is that you can say or do whatever, and pretty much nobody's going to pick up on it. Nobody's going to question what you say because nobody cares to research anything that you've said. And it's not until she becomes a big celebrity that we all start picking out all these quotes over the years that are just clashing.
Mm-hmm.
So after the trip to Rwanda to build a well, another thing she does for the United Nations is work as an advocate for the United Nations entity for gender equality and empowerment of women. And then in May of 2016, she's going to break up with our buddy Corey. But they're still going to live together. And then, from what we know, within the next 2 months, while she's living with Corey, she's going to meet and start dating Prince Harry.
Nice.
But my last slide is just a quote from one movie that Meghan had the biggest role, one of the biggest roles she ever had. A movie called Random Encounters. And I just added this in because she's going to talk about, I mean, it's not her talking about her feelings for pilots, but it's just, Harry's a pilot. Just remember that while you watch this.
Brazilian on Tuesday. Half off, kick it all off.
Sounds enticing, but I have an audition.
Anything interesting?
Some pilot.
Oh. I love pilots. I'll show you a cockpit.
Not helping.
Zinger.
Not helping.
Oh, come on, laugh. I'm funny.
I feel like she used that joke on Harry.
Probably.
100%. That's all I have. Until next time.
Whew.
It's exhausting, is what it is.
It's really just the pattern of and you said this right from the get-go. It's the saying something that's not technically untrue, but it's not true.
But you know, when you say it that way, that it sounds like something it's not.
Right. It's purposely vague, seemingly misleading, doesn't build trust in her character, and then her actions also feel suspicious.
Everything about her is suspicious.
Yeah, that too.
I don't know. Sometimes I try to think about the things that I think about Meghan, the way I feel about her, and I try to like de-escalate. I'm like, maybe I'm too lost in the sauce. And I'm like, maybe she doesn't use people and discard them. Maybe it's just like when you go through life, you lose friends along the way because you just don't see them anymore. But it's just really hard to ignore that you used your dad to help you out, which is cool. But then you married a producer who could also help you out. And then when you got a job and you didn't need him anymore, you dropped him like a hot potato. And then you started dating somebody else who could connect you with more high profile people. And then once you didn't need him anymore, you broke up with him. And then you have all the friends along the way. Just like, as soon as I don't need you anymore, you will never hear from me again.
It does look that way from the outside, for sure.
What a nice lady. Just remember, this is what she's good at.
Your marmalade soup.
It's not moving. Oh, no, it is. It's just kind of chunky on the bottom.
Sussex slop.
We're going to run away because we've been doing this entirely too long, and I'm sorry.
That's okay. Well, I think an hour of it was not actually talking about her. It was unboxing.
There was a lot of futzing.
There was some futzing. Some butter whacking.
Butter whacking. Okay. If you're still watching this, which I think by the time I cut this down, it might be like 2.5 hours.
Thank you for tolerating us.
You're the best. Please give us a like. If you would like to, or you can comment a crown for our Princess Meghan. All right.
Until next time.
Until next time. Well, next time we will talk about Prince Harry and Meghan from the time that they met until now. Wish me luck. We're not going to talk too much about things that are weird in relation to their children, mostly because I'm not going to talk about their children, just like I didn't talk about the Wales children. And also, we did an entire episode on all the weird stuff they've done with their kids.
Yeah.
Which sounds wrong, but like...
Go back and watch it, you'll know what we mean.
That's not what I mean. But yeah, we've done a whole episode we did a whole episode on Megxit, like the exact timeline of how everything happened. So we're not going to cover those parts too deeply because we got to make time for the rest of it. So I hope y'all enjoyed this. Let me know if you read the Tom Bower book, Revenge, and if you think it's good in a factual sense or in a tonal sense. No, let us know how you feel about Meghan.
I'm very curious.
And if anybody wants my marmalade,
you can buy it for $12 plus shipping. We'll put it back with all the paper and everything.
Yeah. But other than that, we're going to leave you now. And we'll see you soon.
See you.
Goodbye.
Bye.